Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 22 Yards with Zayyen. Pakistan's first test against India at Headingley has certainly not started the way Pakistani fans would have hoped. The team were bowled out for just 171, and England have responded strongly, putting themselves firmly in control of this test. But rather than simply looking at the scoreboard, today we want to understand why things have gone wrong for Pakistan. Was it poor technique? Did Pakistan get their bowling plans wrong? How costly were the missed opportunities in the field? How much are Pakistan actually missing Babar Azam? And amid all the disappointment, have Pakistan discovered something special in debutant Ali Usman? Zayyan, there's a lot to unpack today.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So let me start with the most obvious question. 171 all out. What do you make of Pakistan's first innings? I mean, was England's bowling really that good, or did Pakistan make it easier than it should have been?
First, Assalamu alaikum to all the viewers and welcome to 22 Yards with Zayyen. Amber, I think you have to give the credit to England, but also very disappointed the way Pakistanis batted. I think Ollie Robinson and Josh Tongue bowled with discipline. That's it. That's the credit I would like to give it to them. They didn't try anything unnecessarily. I mean, they were bowling in the right areas, making the ball talk. The ball was swinging, it was seaming, and they actually used the conditions really well. So, in my opinion, Pakistani batters did not bat well, but at the same time, England bowling was very disciplined. So that is my way of looking at it. On the other hand, Abdullah Shafiq and Imam, they showed some that there are some runs possible on this track. But at the same time, nobody went on to score big runs for Pakistan, which was required. Imam played a very loose shot outside the off stump again. Abdullah Shafiq, yes, he was set up. I must say, he was set up really well by the bowler, and he kept bowling in the same area, moving the ball away from him, and then immediately got one in, and he got him out bowled. So yeah, Abdullah was the only batter I would say who was set up. Other than that, all the Pakistani batters were extremely disappointing.
And that's really interesting, Zayn, because we often hear about the difficulty of batting in England. But
Mhm.
surely there's, a difference between difficult conditions and simply not adapting properly.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. See, batting in England is all about discipline. Again, if you remember the show we did before this test match could actually start, and I spoke about the batting, and I
Yes.
categorically mentioned how they need to bat in England. The discipline they need to have. All they had to do was they had to leave the balls outside the off stump. They needed to know where the off stump is, so it's easier for them to leave the ball outside the off stump. Then they had to play the ball really late, which I mentioned in my previous shows as well, and play right under their eyes or play under their nose. So in my opinion, if a batter under these conditions are leaving 20-30 balls without any runs, it's okay, it's fine. But what you're doing is you're frustrating the bowlers. This is exactly what Pakistan should have done, and you had to show that kind of patience. So Pakistani batters did not show enough patience in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's talk about England's bowlers now. So
Hmm.
Ollie Robinson and Josh Tongue took all 10 wickets between them, and it's really nice to see the ball being halved. Robinson, in particular, isn't someone relying on extreme pace.
Hmm.
So, what actually made him so effective?
See, this is actually the lesson for Pakistan to learn as well from this innings. He isn't a bowler who would touch around 150 kilometers an hour. But what he did, Robinson, was that he was bowling accurate. He was very disciplined. He was attacking the stumps. He was challenging the batsmen outside the off stump, for the edge. He was asking questions. More importantly, this is more important, he kept asking questions. So, and there were a few deliveries that exactly you needed in English conditions. So that's exactly what he did. He made use of that condition. He bowled
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, you're absolutely right, Zain. Which then brings us to Pakistan's bowling. I mean, England has exactly the same pitch, So why couldn't Pakistan's seamers create the same kind of problem?
Now that was a concern for me as well yesterday when I was talking to Ali Yunus on his show, that we weren't disciplined. You know, when England bowled out Pakistani batters, they were forced to play. Pakistani batters were forced to play. They were bowling at the right lengths, hard lengths, which we call. They were moving the ball from there. They were moving it out. They were moving it in. So outswing and in swing, and then they were seaming the ball as well. And I was very disappointed, in as a matter of fact, that I could not see the similar kind of bowling, because either the Pakistani bowlers were too short when they were bowling, or they were bowling too full. They were not hitting the right areas, which we call the good length. They weren't,
Hmm.
hitting those good length areas. And on top of that, you know, the fielding was horrible, I must say. The catching was horrible. The ground fielding was horrible. So these kind of things do not win you test matches. Like I always say, you got to take 20 wickets to win a test match. And
I agree.
England has exactly done the same thing. I mean, they've taken the 10 wickets and they're just 10 wickets away. And as we speak, England is right now 371 for 8, and they lead by 200 runs. So what Pakistan needs to do is they need to make sure they take these two early wickets now, and when they come to bat, they need to bat. They don't need to bat in terms of scoring runs. They need to bat for number of hours to make sure that they get back into this game.
Mm, mm. So would you say the issue was the bowlers themselves or the bowling plan?
I think it was a combination of both. The plan weren't executed consistently, or maybe they had different kind of plans. But Pakistan also have to ask whether this is the right bowling combination in the in the English conditions. So for me, it was a combination of both.
There was a moment when Pakistan appeared to be fighting their way back. That's when Joe Root and Jordan Cox were dismissed. England lost wickets, and then Harry Brook came in. Pakistan had a chance very early in the game. They dropped him. He went
Yeah,
on to make 91. How big was that mistake? I know you just said that the fielding was atrocious.
yeah. See, it was a massive, massive opportunity. I mean, Harry Brooks is somebody who loves scoring against Pakistan, and
Yeah.
giving that kind of a batter another chance, obviously he will take away the moment from you. In my opinion, these kind of catches decide test matches. And if Brook would have gone earlier, England would have, by without a doubt, would have come under a lot of pressure, because that's one of their main players. You got Joe Root out, you got the other batters out, and the only one left was Harry Brooks, and you dropped him early on. I think it was a decider at that particular time.
Yeah, yeah, and it wasn't just one isolated mistake. I mean, Pakistan's fielding generally looked below the level you'd expect in a test match, Zayn.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. See, I've already spoken about it. They were below par in their fielding, dropping catches, um, um, not doing proper ground fielding. I mean, you can't compete with teams on their home ground with giving away such chances, and you're not bowling. See, it's all about you need to have a combination of all. You need to bat well, you need to bowl well, and you need to field well to win matches, or to play good cricket. So if you're not doing any of these good, these kind of things are not going to make you win test matches.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that, Zain. So, what is it actually about Harry Brook and Pakistan? He seems to enjoy playing against them. Like you just said, he absolutely enjoys batting against Pakistan's bowling attack.
Mhm. I think the reason behind it is that we either bowl too full at him or we bowl halfway down the track. So he's someone who loves to score quickly. And he's someone who likes to put bowlers under the pressure, and that's exactly what he did. I mean, you gave him an early chance as well. How do you think he's not going to capitalize on that? So
Hmm.
he exactly that's exactly what he did. He capitalized on it, and he started punishing the bowlers, and the bowlers immediately lost their lines. And I was really disappointed with the fact that how the Pakistani bowlers were bowling. They were so wayward. There was no discipline showed in the Pakistani bowling lineup. Even Abbas wasn't too consistent with his bowling line. He was going down the leg side quite a lot, and then the fielding wasn't supporting the bowlers as well. So it was a combination of everything, I would say. And Brooks, like I said, he loves taking on the bowlers, and that's exactly what he did with the Pakistani bowlers.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, Zain, let's turn our focus a little bit to England. Joe Root is back in charge now, and England's approach looks very positive. I mean, do you think we're seeing a slightly different England now, perhaps, still aggressive, but a little more controlled?
Potentially, the aggressive, but at the same time, I would say the aggressive mindset hasn't disappeared.
Hmm.
England are still looking to score runs. I mean, if you look at their top order batting, they were still looking to score quick runs. But at the same time, it still looked a little more balanced. The criticism of Bazball was that England attacked regardless of the match situation. But here, I think they were a little more balanced. What Root may bring in extra is a bit of game awareness, because he himself, is a batter who would play according to the situation, and when to. He's the kind of a batter who would attack when it is required. He will absorb pressure when it's required. So he will bring that kind of a balance to the England team. But yes, we could still see some of attacking cricket from England batters.
And if England can combine those two things together, they could eventually become even a stronger test side, Zain. So now let's give Pakistan some credit.
Yeah.
Ali Usman, uh, he took 5 wickets on his test debut, and he's doing it as a spinner at Headingley. That's some introduction to international cricket.
Yeah, two things here, Amber. One is that, see, you spoke about England earlier on. I would like to mention here, see, English team is also very vulnerable at the moment. Like I mentioned, they're transitioning from one way of cricket to another, to the conventional test match as well.
Yeah.
So yes, if they get that kind of a balance, which I spoke about in your previous question, in my previous answer, that if they can bring that balance between playing attacking cricket and having the game awareness, then yes, they can be a tough side to beat. I would still not say a stronger, but I would say a tough side to beat on their home ground. So yeah, that's one thing. Now the other thing you spoke about, Ali Usman, yes, he is a debutant in England, but he's already played, I think, two test matches in or maybe one test in West Indies in the previous tour. So it's his debut in England. Yes, as a debut in England, I think he was the only one bowler who looked a little bit, who was a little disciplined, I would say, and I mean, hats off to him. He, he's shown that he was prepared when he was given the opportunity. So yeah, hats off to this fellow.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't get carried away after one innings, though. But do you think Pakistan could have found someone worth investing in long term?
Definitely, but at the same time, one performance doesn't make a career. It's an excellent start, but you have to be consistent to make your place in the team, in the side.
Hmm. Now, I want to talk to you, Zain, about Salman Ali Agha's captaincy. It is a difficult first assignment for him. Star player Babar Azam is unavailable, and Salman suddenly finds himself, captaining Pakistan and England. And then his team gets bowled out for 171. I mean, how would you assess his captaincy so far?
See, okay. I wouldn't completely blame him for everything because the batters, I mean, if we start from the batting lineup, the batters had to take the responsibility and they had to score runs, and the bowlers had to take their responsibilities and they had to bowl consistently well, which they did not do. Um, but there are still moments where I would, still blame or have issues with his captaincy, where he would have, in my opinion, I would like to see Pakistan play more proactive or more attacking cricket, which I did not get to see. They had very little score to defend in the first innings, 171, and if I was given this opportunity, I would have actually, you know played more attacking cricket because I had nothing to lose from there. I know that's their home ground. England is playing in their own conditions. They will have an edge over the Pakistani team. So I would rather play more attacking cricket, which will create doubts in the batter's mind, and be very disciplined when it comes to my bowling and fielding. Because I've not been disciplined in my batting, at least I would want to do that. And then the other thing I would wanted to see was quick bowling changes, and maybe try something different to get the batters out, which I did not see that much. So these two things are very important. Playing attacking cricket, even though you don't have much to defend, you should still play attacking cricket. Regular bowling changes. Do not let the batters settle down, and try and understand what the bowler is trying to do. So these kind of things do create a lot of difference. So that is something I would definitely blame Salman Ali Agha for, because he's leading the side. He should think out of the box.
Yeah, so I mean, this is basically a matter of, not necessarily poor captaincy, but just a little reactive.
Yes, in a way.
Now we have to talk about Babar Azam. How badly is Pakistan missing him?
Oh, they are definitely missing him. See, he's one of the most level-headed batter and the most experienced and accomplished batsman Pakistan has produced over the years. Um, but you also have to be careful. You have to be very careful that you cannot just depend on one player or one batter all the time. You don't build up test teams like this. Just one batter is not there because of any reason. He's injured or he's not available to play, and suddenly there's nobody else who's ready to take that kind of responsibility. So yes, Pakistan is missing Babar, definitely missing Babar in the middle order, but that should not be the case. I mean, the other batters also need to take that kind of responsibility as well.
Yeah, which is why it's so important. We've had this conversation so many times before that you cannot the whole match does not hinge on the performance of just one player. There's a reason why you're called a team. And
Yeah.
that's perhaps the biggest concern because I see whenever a star player, in this case Babar Azam, is not part of the team, there seems to be some kind of mishap or misperformance. I mean, there wasn't that one innings when someone says, I'm going to bat for 3 hours and drag this team to 300. So you're right, when you say someone has to take responsibility.
Yeah. No, that's exactly the thing. That's exactly what Pakistan needs. And I would also like to give this credit to Abdullah Shafiq, the way he batted. He actually showed our batters as well that this is how we need to bat on these kind of wickets, and somewhat to Imam as well. They both spent the most difficult time when the ball was new, when it had the glaze on it, and it was doing much more than what it was doing in the later stage. But yeah, like I said earlier, Abdullah was set up perfectly. But I was very disappointed with the shot which Imam played. He could have actually resisted himself by not playing that shot outside the off stump. So there is a problem of Pakistani batters still reaching out to the balls which are far outside the off stump. So yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm,
Zain, let's look ahead slightly. Even before this test is finished,
mm,
I think there will already be questions about selection. So, do
mm.
Pakistan really need to rethink their bowling attack for the next test?
Without a doubt, I think they certainly need to at least need to discuss it. The biggest question is penetration, because Abbas gives you control and movement. Khurram has the ability to, hit the deck sometimes. Uh, but do Pakistan need some? I mean, I leave this question to you as well. But do Pakistan need some who gives them some sort of pace? Something different, more pace, more bounce. A bowler who can make things happen when the ball stops moving. Because right now the ball is moving. I can understand these bowlers can be effective. But what when the ball stops moving around? Do you have that kind of a pace to take wickets for you? That's a huge
I mean,
conversation.
would you consider Ubaid Shah?
Depending on the conditions, yes, he has to be part of the discussion as well. You've taken him along the squad. I mean, you just don't want him to sit on the sidelines if the other bowlers aren't
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
their job properly. Yeah.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you, Zain. Um, Now let's come to a question every Pakistani fan is asking. Can Pakistan still save this test from this point?
See, it's not going to be easy for them. It's going to be extremely difficult to do that. Uh, But the first job is that they have to take these remaining wickets as early as they can, because the lead is going to hurt Pakistan a lot. I mean, as we speak, they're playing around three. They've scored 392, and just one wicket just fell just now. So they're 309. Let me just see again. They're nine down now. So they have
Hmm.
to take all these wickets, and they're leading by 221 runs. So it's a lot of runs. And then Pakistan has to forget about the situation or the score or the lead. They have to bat based on the situation right now. They have to bat per sessions. They do not need to worry about what England has scored. They need to spend time on the wicket. So they need to stop worrying about winning or losing this test match. Right now, they need to bat. They need to show that kind of resistance and the temperament, which is going to be a little more difficult for Team Pakistan on such situations.
Hmm. So I think Zain, the immediate goal, isn't heroics. It's actually discipline.
It is. It is exactly. That's exactly what it is. You have to have that discipline. And when I say discipline, or when you say discipline, it's again the testing of three things I keep talking about: your technique, your temperament, and your fitness. So you
Hmm.
have to have that kind of a discipline. You have to spend the moment you get these batters, the England batters out. You have to show that kind of discipline. You have to spend time. You need to spend hours and hours on wicket, on the pitch. I mean, every batter, a batter cannot come and score a quick 50 or 60 or 70 runs and say, my work is done here. No, it's not like that. You got to spend, you know, instead of scoring runs, you need to, keep it, you need to bat for longer period of time. You need to spend sessions on the wicket. That should be the goal of
I
Pakistan cricket
agree.
right now.
I agree, and we hope that Pakistan show this kind of discipline that you're actually talking about in the third innings when they come back to bat. But like you
Yeah.
said, they've got a huge lead to cover up, and then obviously you got to give them some more the England team some more runs to make. But
Yeah.
let's wrap this
But
up
before
now,
we move
Zayin,
ahead,
because we all
sorry.
want to get back to.
Yeah,
Hmm?
before we move ahead, I just want to say a few things. I mean, if I look at this from this match from England's perspective, they would not want to come back for the second innings. They would want to get Pakistan out as early as possible. So remember one
Hmm.
thing: they've already done that in the first innings. They've got Pakistan out for 171. They're far ahead of us in this test match. All, like I said, we need to do is we need to be disciplined and at first get these batters out. Don't let them get past 250 lead. It's going to be huge because there is a mindset of these Pakistani batters that the moment they see a huge lead, they get under a lot of pressure. And then we do not have the batters like Babar Azam who can resist, and you cannot also at the same time, you know, count on Abdullah Shafiq all the time. or Imam all the time, because everybody has to pitch in, everybody has to perform. You cannot just bank on one or two players all the time. So that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and you know, Zain, we've been saying this time and time again whenever we've been discussing matches. I mean, any team for that matter. Uh, you are a team for a reason. You know, you just cannot expect one person to come out and be the hero for the day
Yeah.
and, you know, do everything. You bat, you bowl, you field well as well, and, you know, where you win the day. So I think you're right when you say that Pakistan has got to be a team. They have to think as a team. They have to perform as a team as well. So, I mean, before we wrap up and get back to watching the match today, I have a few rapid fire questions. I know it's a favorite part of our
Yeah.
discussion every time.
Yeah.
So, so tell me, let's start. So, England's bowling or Pakistan's poor batting, which was the bigger factor?
Okay, let me ask a few more things to your question. Pakistan's poor batting, England's good bowling, or Pakistan's poor bowling or fielding? I think overall it was Pakistan's poor cricket.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Pakistan's biggest disappointment so far. I mean, you just said it, fielding and batting and bowling. So I'm just gonna answer that for you. What was Pakistan's biggest positive?
I think Ali Usman was a positive for Pakistan. Then in batting, I would not want to move and shy away by not taking Abdullah Shafiq's name because he batted brilliantly. So these two were
Hmm.
positives.
Most impressive England player.
For me, it would be Harry Brooks, the way he batted, although Robinson deserves enormous credit as well.
Would you change Pakistan's 11 for the second test?
Absolutely, without a doubt. If it's my, if I have to pick a team, I will definitely do, and I would like to take a few names here. I
Hmm.
would want to rest Azanawes. I would want to rest Rizwan. So at least, and if I have an option to rest Salman Ali Agha, I would do that. I would absolutely want to, you know, not play these three players.
You know, Zayn, I just want to quickly ask you something. Rizwan, I mean, why is he even part of this playing 11?
See, we keep talking about this, and I hate to say it. I don't like talking about these kind of things. But at the same time, he's not playing proper Test match cricket. He's not batting
Yeah.
well. Forget about the keeping at the moment, but he's not batting well as well. And we need somebody who can bat well in that position. We need someone. I mean, you have taken this chap called Ghazi Ghauri. If Rizwan is not, playing batting well, why don't you give him a chance? At least he's a new lad.
Yeah.
You never know. He might take that opportunity. He might capitalize on it. He might bat better because okay, forget about what Rizwan is doing, but he's not in one of his greatest forms. So let's give somebody else a chance. I think Rizwan should be the one saying this to the management and to the captain that, see, I've not been able to perform in the last since the last series or even before that in the test matches. Why don't you give this opportunity to the boy you already have in the name of in the form of Ghazi Gauri? He's been there throughout the test match series in West Indies, wasn't given a chance, and now in the first test I was expecting him to play here at least. I don't mind him not doing anything as well, but what is Rizwan doing then? If you're
Yeah.
replacing somebody, he at least he's young boy. He will be more enthusiastic. He will want to score runs. He wants to make his place in the team. So probably he might do a little extra, and he might score a few runs for the team Pakistan, and it might change the whole scenario how the Pakistan team or batting is looking like at the moment. So you have to give that lad a chance. And the other person I would absolutely want to have in the team is Sajid Khan. Even if I have to go with two spinners, I mean, for the next test match, because the ball normally turns later on in Lords, I believe. So I would want to go with him as well. Why? Because he brings in a lot of energy to the team. He's a very aggressive spinner. He's a fighter. So I would want to have these kind of characters in Team Pakistan, which will obviously lift their morale all the time. And then he does not just fight with the ball. He fights while he's fielding. He shows his fight while batting. So we need these kind of players. We need these kind of characters in our team, which will build the morale overall.
Yeah, yeah, that's called proactive play, I guess. So,
Absolutely.
Zayn, can Pakistan win this test from here?
It's it's very difficult. It's not going to be easy. It's extremely extremely difficult. It could be possible if I want to be optimistic. Like my friend Ali, he always says, I'm one optimistic guy. So if I want to be optimistic, there is a possibility, but it's extremely difficult. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to
Well,
go anything else apart from this.
yeah, so I mean, there you have it, guys. I mean, currently England are firmly in control. Pakistan have plenty of questions to answer. But there are still some positives, particularly the performance of Ali Usman on his debut in England.
Yeah.
Now we want to hear from you. I mean, was Pakistan's biggest problem their batting, their bowling, their fielding, selection, or captaincy? And if you could make one change to Pakistan's team for the next test, what would it be? Let us know in your comments.
Yeah, but I mean, since you've asked these questions to all of the viewers as well, I would say it was everything, from batting, bowling, fielding, selection, and captaincy. So that's my opinion, but we'll let people give their opinion.
Give their opinion as well, yes.
But at this time, please do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the show with your fellow cricket fans and your friends. Yeah,
And we'll definitely be back with more exciting analysis as the series develops. Until then, keep watching, keep
keep debating,
debating,
keep
and
loving
keep
cricket.
loving cricket. This has been 2020, 22 yards with Zayn. We'll see you next time, guys.
Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Take care. Love